Hello, everybody, and welcome to this professional development on transitioning to a digital learning high school performance task for theater. My name is Kenny Webb. I'm here to help and support in any way that I can. And basically, what we're going to do in this quick 10-minute video is go over how to acquaint yourself with the purpose and the structure of this performance task, how to give you some guidance for supporting your students in completion of the performance task, and to provide you information on how to access support. So before we get started, a huge thank you to your advisory group members for giving up time on their spring break to create this task, specifically Katie Keller, who is your teacher leader for theater. She did a lot of work around this and the rubric as well. So next time you see her, next time you see any of the music advisory group members, give them a huge air high five, or hopefully we'll see them in person and can actually give a high five. So just to give you an overview of what's happening at the high school during these trying times, if a student is in 9th or 10th grade and in one of the core classes, so social studies, English, math, or science, or they're in 11th and 12th grade and they're off track to graduate, they will be completing their coursework through Edgenuity. Edgenuity is our credit recovery software program or platform that we have, but they've purchased the license, the district license, so now we have access to a ton of different classes. So those students will be completing quarter four through that platform. Any students that are in a concurrent enrollment class or any teachers that teach those classes will continue with their syllabi and their materials using a virtual learning experience. And lastly, all of the students that are in grades 11 through 12 that are on track to graduate, or all elective students in grades 9 through 12 will be creating and completing these performance tasks. Why performance tasks? So performance tasks are a way for students to demonstrate proficiency for work in quarter four aligned to the standards for grade level and content area. They are usually multi-step tasks that students can engage and complete in an online environment. And why did we choose these? To provide a way for students to demonstrate their understanding and mastery of a grade level standard. We realize that in theater, this probably isn't the greatest assessment of the students' abilities, but we were trying to come up with a universal way that students could demonstrate this knowledge, and we feel this is the best case of a worst case scenario. So an overview of the performance task and what it looks like. So what the students will be doing is they will be reviewing a play. Students will choose a play to analyze. Now this can be through your support, or they can go out and find one on their own. But they will be writing a 5-paragraph essay analyzing the production itself. They will not focus on summarizing the plot or the text of the play. So here is a quick screenshot of what the performance task looks like. There is a lot more expectations as well as a lot of supports built in there for students, especially if they're an ELL learner and need some sentence starters or things like that to get started. So how will grading and rubrics work for this? So the rubric will be included with all of the links. You'll also get a link to this slideshow so that you can reference it back. But you'll use the rubrics to assess their performance task. Now you can chunk it out by paragraph if you would like to give feedback to students, or have them turn it in several times if you would like in order to give feedback and have them do revisions. How grading will work for these performance tasks is this will be the only grade for Q4. So if a student receives a B on this assessment, they would get a B for the quarter. Now, this is also going to be a no harm grading quarter for students. So if a student receives a lower grade on the performance task than they did in quarter 3, their quarter 3 grade will carry over for their quarter 4. So we're really trying to focus on or being understanding about access and opportunities and the equity gap that we would create if we had this required, or if, I'm sorry, not required, if we had this be their only grade for students for Q4. So here's an example of the rubric. It's based on a 4-point rubric, standards-based grading rubric. So all you'll have to do is, once you've analyzed the student's work, you just turn that into a letter grade. But this is based off of the standards for high school theater. So a couple of things to keep in mind and to consider through this process. One is to take care of yourself and to take care of your students. We understand that this situation is hitting everybody in different ways and creating problems in thousands of different ways for all parties. So please just make sure that you're using care when you're dealing with students, when you're analyzing their performance tasks, things like that. Also allow for grace, and not only grace with students, but grace with your admin, grace with your teammates, grace with myself, and then definitely grace with yourself. I mean, all of us are in this unique situation that we never thought we would be in, and we just need to allow ourselves the opportunity to grow and keep a growth mindset as we process through this. Keep things simple. So the performance task is set up pretty simple. So don't try and make it too complicated for kids. Just have them, pick a play that they like and move through that process with that one. But then any resources that you give them on the flip side of that, try and keep as simple as possible. Allow them flexibility and allow yourself flexibility in this process. Vulnerability comes into that, and just take ownership if you make a mistake or if the students make a mistake, because we're all going to make mistakes. I know I'm already making mistakes, and so I will own up to those. But allow yourself the flexibility to work through this process. Again, we realize that everybody's in a unique situation with this. Students are probably taking care of younger siblings or even homeschooling those siblings. You guys as teachers are probably homeschooling your own kids or taking care of dependents. So please make sure you're maintaining a healthy work and life balance. I think with this performance task and the way Edgenuity is set up, there's going to be a lot of downtime, whereas you would normally be teaching from 7:30 to 3 o'clock every day. That's not going to be the case, as there won't be any direct instruction. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself, take care of your dependents, get outside, breathe some fresh air, and maintain that healthy work and life balance. Also to remember is differentiation. You still have students with disabilities, students that are on IEPs, students that have 504 accommodations, students that need ELL support. So make sure you're offering those supports for them as well. You know your students best, so make sure you're taking care of them. Okay, so your role as a teacher in this process, the bare minimum is to create a Google Classroom and post your performance task in that classroom. They'll have, this will be an assignment so that the students are able to turn it in through that platform. And then you're also going to create daily interactions with students through office hours. And so your building's going to be working on a schedule, so how that works, so that everybody's office hours aren't at the same time. But you should get more information from them on that. But then you also have the opportunity to check in with students one-on-one through either Google Hangouts or email. Remember, this is all a virtual space and how we're interacting with them. And then if you would like to go above and beyond that, through your Google Classroom, you can always post additional learning opportunities or resources that you're finding. So many of them are coming through social media right now. So you should have a vast list of things that you can offer students. There's tons of YouTube videos, tutorials, things like that out there that you could share with them. You could do a resource of the day kind of thing that you shared during your office hours, but that's completely up to you. And then another optional area is to try and create opportunities for students to interact with each other, either through Hangouts or in your Google Classroom. You can do discussion boards where you can post a question and have kids answer it, and then they can react to each other's answers and give feedback and things like that. So any of these things that you've already kind of started planning out, those would be all extra and optional. Remember that there can't be any grades and or expectations with kids on those. The only thing that's being graded is the performance task. So using Google Classroom, it is a very user-friendly platform. The main thing you're going to be doing is using it to curate all of these performance tasks, also to create your Hangouts for your office hours. It's really easy to do in your Google Calendar. If you create an appointment, there's a video or add conferencing option. You click that on yes, and then it creates a Google Hangout and link for you to share. You also can post any of those supplemental resources or materials that you have, and then also create opportunities for students to interact. If you need help with Google Classroom, if you've never done or dealt with it or used it before, our district ed tech coaches have created a ton of support resources, videos like this that you can watch, and tutorial videos to kind of walk you through how to do it. And then they are also available on a one-on-one basis if you just need somebody to sit with you on the computer and show you exactly what you need to do. If you don't know who your ed tech coach is, you will find them on this slide. So it's broken up by learning community. So you just find your building, and then Greg, Kyle, Jan, or Dusty are all amazing people, and they should be able to get you the help that you need. I can help you with basic stuff, but these guys would definitely help you if you're looking for something a little bit more in depth. If you need any additional support moving forward, or any additional support with the performance task or answers to questions, why aren't we doing direct instruction, any of that kind of stuff, please feel free to email me. If you have any theater specific things that you would like to ask, you can always reach out to Katie Keller, your teacher leader. Next week, when you guys come back from spring break, I will be offering office hours from 8 to 9 each day. You'll get a link to that hangout with all of the materials, including this video and the PowerPoint. And so if you just want to drop into that office hours and ask a question or chat, that's completely up to you. If you would like to just shoot me an email, we can do that as well. Or on the end of all of my emails is my phone number, my cell number. You can reach out and call me if that's the best way for you. So thanks again for all that you're doing. Just understand that this is very trying times and a very unique situation, and we're all trying to do the best we can for kids. So moving forward, just remember that grace and patience with everybody as we try and make the best case scenario for students out of a worst case scenario. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for all your hard work that you're going to put into this unique situation. And hopefully I will see you guys real soon.